item template. And then once I've create a single use. Okay, cool. I guess I don't have to even name it. That's awesome. Yeah, so we're going to create a tier list now. And then we're going to spend the final streams in future actually using all the stuff. And then we're going to just square them, that'll be fine. And then once I've done a little bit of practice with all of them, I'll be able to provide a bit more with an opinion on them. So let's get a little bit of Skyrim ambience going while I'm I think it's this one. Ow, that's really loud. Fuck. Is my audio boosting on? I bet my audio boosting's on. Yep, there you go. It's always on. Right, so we've got my downloads, which I'm glad didn't come up on that screen. Vido, Discord, OBS, and then my tier list. Okay, cool. Everything's in place. Excellent. I love it when that happens. Alright, yeah, so we're going to make this tier list, and then we're going to hold on, I need to drag that off this screen. For the Finals Tierlist. Yeah, and then once we're done with this, everything we do after will be practicing with the stuff that's on here, so I can get a better idea of how good things actually are and see if it lines up with my the opinions I put forth in this. And I mean, usually I'm pretty right most of the time, like, because I've got, what is it, 260 hours at this point experience in the game. Library, the finals, yeah, so I've got nearly 270 hours in the finals. So yeah, I like to think that my opinions are like pretty spot on, more or less. Okay, so let me take a sip of this coffee. Disgusting. God. Well, I've got 2 of these other coffees left that aren't the salted caramel ones. And I was just like, well, if I drink them now, like, because obviously after a nap, I was like, well, I need something pretty bitter to wake me up. This is so much worse than I actually thought it was going to be. So we got every weapon, gadget, and specialization in the finals. Most of these I've actually used quite a lot of, some of them less. So, for example, like, I know the zipline, but I've never really used it. And there's like breach, charge, and C4, which are more or less the same thing. I don't think there is a damage difference. If there, I'll probably check the wiki, which I've got just here, to see if there is any real difference between the two. Like, it's like explosive mines on medium and heavy. You might assume that the explosive mines on the heavy do a little bit more damage, but they don't. And then I'll have to, I know this one's glitch, but I think this one's gas. I think the flat one is pyro, and that'd be a dome shield. So yeah. God, this is disgusting. If I just pound it down and then it's gone, and then it's not a problem, right? Alright, one sec. That was disgusting, but it's coffee, so I'm hoping that's gonna help. Ugh, right. Okay, so we've got weapons, gadgets, and specializations. This is the... Okay, this is the... Where's the V9S pistol? Hey! Correct, how you doing? V9S 93R. Okay, 93R is a burst pistol. It's kind of like a FAMAS, but in pistol form. It's kind of a bit weak, but they keep buffing it. So, like, I think they're trying to find, like, a perfect middle ground for it, where it's, like, it's on light, but it's, I'm not doing too badly. I'm just, starting out a 20, well, I say 24 hour, right? It's going to be, we're going to be doing it, it's Helldivers in the finals for the whole time. And I say 24-hour stream, but really what I mean is I want to beat the 18 hours and 21 minutes. of we did a Dauntless stream last year that was that long, so that's kind of the real goal here. Also, let me open this up. I don't know if you use Twitter, but basically, this is my goal, a funding goal. I want to replace my motherboard because my one's slightly busted. There was a post on Twitter about the whys, basically. Pardon me. And yeah, like basically, that's going to be quite there. Helldivers 2 run? Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, we're going to be doing Helldivers and the finals in, like, sort of back and forth. Because I want to... There's sort of 2 games where the people in the LNCS can join. And, you know, sort of like, it won't just be me the whole time, which would be nice. You know, so we can just have drop-in and drop-outs. This is the only bit I'm not going to be in voice chat for, basically, because I'm doing a tier list of everything in the finals. Which I'll then be using as part of a content run later on where I use all of this stuff and then reassess it once I'm done. But for now, yeah, we're just doing the tier list, and then we're going to move on to probably going to start with Helldivers, I think, because it's kind of lower energy, or like lower requirement, realistically, at least for me. And then, yeah, we'll do the finals, because there's like, we'll do the finals later on when like more of the people who play that are generally awake. And I'm hoping, what I should have done really is put out a notification in Discord to say that's what we're live now. But most of the people who are in there already know. I'll just put, I guess, I'll sort that out later. It'll be fine. Like once we actually start playing games, I'll put out. Actually, are you in the LNCS? Cracked. No, you're not. What? Have I not invited you? Invite people. Cracked. There you go. Yeah, the LNCS is the late night collab server, which is just like when I'm playing the finals of Helldivers late at night, where people, if they want to join, like it's always just like open join basically. There you go. Welcome in, and I know you are a finalist and a streamer, so I'll quickly give you those roles. You're a Helldiver and a streamer, sorry, no, not a finalist. We did used to have a Fortnite role, but like we kind of don't really do Fortnite anymore because it's a bit sweaty and boring. And like, they've sort of, I think that too much is, join you, I didn't think I couldn't. When you sent link us, I was at max amount servers. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, we just don't. I think I fell out. Like we did Fortnite for a very long time. Honestly, like it was, like if I go to, hey son, how you doing? Oh, they've changed this again. If I go to, here's all the channels I manage. By the way, you reckon it's enough? The Foundation VTuber group, which was me, Dank, Kasky, Nunez, and Rosie. And yeah, we did, what we do is we used to squad up together, and I made these overlays for it, where it's like all 4 of our viewpoints. And yeah, like we sort of just stopped doing them after a while. We just, it didn't, it was just sort of one of those, it was fun while it lasted, that's what I'll say. You were in the game like 20 minutes ago? Well, yeah, I keep missing you. But it's alright, because I'm going to be live for at least 18 hours and 21 minutes. As long as I don't crash out hardcore, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. But yeah, basically, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do tier lists, and we're going to do Helldivers, and we're going to do finals. And then, hopefully, if we get, like, we could maybe do private servers later. For now? From now? Yeah, from now. So basically, if I did some math earlier, right, and if in order to beat 18 hours, 21 minutes, it means that come midday tomorrow, for me, 20 past midday tomorrow for me, it will mean I've beaten that goal. So basically, that's my plan, is that we're going to get to 18 hours, 21 minutes at the barest minimum. And then longer if we, like, I mean, obviously, there is a chance that there's going to be a distraction. Oh yeah, the clip, that's not a clip, that's something I made earlier for on breaks. And I honestly think that's like I watched it back and I'm honestly way happier with it than I thought I would be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, tomorrow for me. For you, basically, if I think you're 3 hours ahead. So basically, if I get to 3:21 p.m. for you, and I'm still live, then it means I've beaten my previous record. And that's pretty much my only goal in life right now. So, also there's this, which I'm my funding goal for the stream, which is replacement motherboard. Because so the quick. Why can't I zoom in further on this fucking? It just doesn't zoom in on the image. Is it still on my desktop? No, is the answer. Where the fuck did I put it? Is it in? I don't actually know. I might have deleted it. But basically, when I was there you go. Let me bring it up. MSI X99. Okay, it knows what I'm looking for. There you go. Right, so this is my motherboard. Actually, I can just let me just boop, and then boop. Right, so this is the motherboard I currently have in my computer. We have so when we were installing the processor, we put on a Noctua NHD15 cooler, which is a big beefy cooler. But the problem is you see this bracket that goes around that holds the processor in place. Because of the bracket for the base of the base of the Noctua doesn't allow for this, so we had to take off this entire bracket basically to fit it. The problem is when we were putting it on, in order to adjust it, we had to sort of lift it, and the thermal paste had stuck the processor to the bottom of it, and then so when we tried moving it, it lifted the processor out because of the thermal paste, and then the socket and the CPU dropped back into the socket. Now, I'm incredibly lucky, right, because that could have bricked this board, right? It could be completely useless right now. What it did do, however, is it? Can I get a highlighter or something in this shit in this bitch? Give me a highlighter. Can I edit this at all? What's this? What are you? Okay, that's gallery. I don't want that. I just want to. Okay, basically these two RAM slots are completely broken. Like if you put RAM into those two sockets, the computer will not post. It will not get to BIOS. It will just refuse to post at all. On top of that, we do have an M2 in it, but because there's now incorrect power delivery to it, you can't install Windows to it. And also my USB 3.0 slots, one or the other or both, because it doesn't work with this one at all. But if you plug it in here, this is the one that goes to the case, right? And basically, if you put a USB into the USB 3 port on the case, my computer will just blue screen. So basically, this board, like the thing is it does still work. Like even though I'm only getting 6 out of 8 slots, which means I've got 48 gig of RAM. Basically, it's kind of fucked, and like the odds of me being able to replace it, like oh, I've closed Opera GX probably for good reason. But yeah, so basically my options are so what I saw recently was a 6950X on eBay, and it was less than 150 quid. Now the 6950X is the best processor for this board. And I was thinking, oh, this is at a really good price. Right, now I can use Klarna to buy it, which means I'll be paying £50 over 3 months. But the problem is I shouldn't do that, because if I remove the socket from if I move the processor from my current one, it might fuck up the pins even more, so I'm not even going to risk it, basically. So what I've done is made that goal on Throne, which I appear to have... Nope, there it is. I've made this goal here to basically completely replace the board, so that then I can... Like, So, let's say, on the off chance this is successful, right? Say I raised £200 in this stream. Highly unlikely, but possible. You know, we're looking at dreams here, obviously, but whatever. You know, then I can, as soon as I get paid on the 11th, I can immediately Klarna the 6950X. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the M2 from my other computer, which is a brand new, like even this one was brand new, but I've had it for a long time, so whatever. We're going to take the M2 hard drive from my other computer, which is basically not really even a computer. It just doesn't turn on because it has no graphics card in it. But it's like it's a Z97. It's an old board basically. It's completely useless for anything modern. We're going to take the M2 from that, put it here, and we're going to have the new processor on the new board, and I'm able to use all 64 gig of RAM. Now, unlike what most people would probably do when they get a replacement motherboard, I'm not going to bin the current setup, the current motherboard and processor I have, because they work. You know, on top of that, I also have a 16GB stick of Corsair Dominator Platinum RAM, which my friend Alex gave me when his entire kit just shit the bed. I have a second Corsair RM750X power supply. What else do I have? The only thing I'm really missing for an entire second computer, besides probably the case, is a graphics card for it, and that'll be my thing to work on, like, just so I can get a proper RTX card for this computer, because that way I can play games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I do want to play, and I did try to play. Like, I had it downloaded temporarily, but I had to get a refund immediately on it, because you literally cannot run it, because it's not, RTX is not a suggestion on that, it is a restriction, right? And Square Enix are bastards for doing that, basically. So, like, I could play the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I wouldn't be able to immediately move on to Rebirth, because I don't have an RTX card. But, like, once I've got an RTX card, the Titan will then go onto the second computer, and I can do dual PC streaming. Like, I've still got the Elgato. It's literally right freaking here on my desk, where it shouldn't be. But that is sitting there because it is a constant reminder that sorry, not need, that's a really weird word to use there. But basically, it's a reminder that I have a goal, and I'm going to try to achieve it if I can. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with all of this right now. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my annoyingly long explanation. It's also my pinned tweet on Twitter right now as well, so, yeah, hold on. Yeah, there you go. So I've got the announcement here, and then under it I've got the context, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. What's this? Write off alongside a lot of other character stuff that went down in Shadowlands, so kind of disappointing. Build up since Warcraft 3. Yeah, absolutely. This is a discussion about Sylvanas. About how, like, when she first came into World of Warcraft, like, she had the storyline of being killed by Arthas during the defense of Quel'Thalas. I think it was Quel'Thalas, I'm probably wrong on that. But she defended her home city, basically, and Arthas basically just completely murked everyone and killed everyone she knew. And then he killed her, but he didn't, like, properly kill her, he raised her again as a Banshee. And she was bound to his will, basically. Which obviously wasn't really that good for her. And then after killing the Lich King, or after defeating the Lich King at Icecrown Citadel, she threw herself off and she landed on some Azerite spikes. It's not Azerite, is it? It's that shit that Yasharaj produces. I can't remember the name of it. I'll come up with it later. But yeah, like, anyway, she spent, like, a hell of a long time in hell, and she obviously hated that. And, like, her entire story since then has been trying not to, like, basically die. And so, yeah, the conversation was about who has the sort of the right to have become a bad guy. And I think Sylvanas is right up there, because obviously, like, it's not really that she's a bad guy, she's cosmically on a completely different level from everyone else on Azeroth, basically. In the sense that, you know, obviously, you know, she's been dead. You know, she's had, you know, like, the way she looks at and then she's, you know, corrupted by the jailer, or, you know, she's working with the jailer, whatever her, like, her plans are, you know, like, she is in league with the jailer, and, you know, like, she's sort of got a complete, because of the cosmic level entity she's working with, it's like, well, you know, all of mortality is basically stupid. So, like, it's not really even that she's, like, the burning a Teldrassil. You know, like, I don't know why the fuck she did that. I haven't, the thing is I don't have a single minute of time. Actually, no, that'd be a lie. I've got, like, 5 minutes in World of Warcraft total. Right, but I have spent almost my entire life reading the lore. Like, I read the novels, and I spent basically my entire life on the wiki for it because I love the lore for it. Yeah, and mostly the argument comes down to the Warcraft movie, for me at least, was a very good movie. And if they kept doing Amira on, like, while it sounds like heresy, I honestly think they could have matched Lord of the Rings eventually. So, yeah. Right, tier list. 93R. I'm going to put this in a B. I think it's good-ish, but I don't think it's good enough to really be seen play, considering the fact that it's one of those weapons that I don't think that Embark really know how to deal with properly, because it has the potential to be ridiculous. But at the same time, it can't be so good that it's as good as the FAMAS, basically. For its class, honestly, the V9, like, there are like 3 other guns that are better performing on the light class and basically fulfill the same role. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to guess this is the Light's Breach charge. I'm going to put this in A tier. Very useful for bringing down floors above you, bringing down floors below you. Just being generally really quite annoying. Like, you stick it on the cash out, you wait for somebody to come to cash out, you blow it up, and usually you kill them too if there's, like, poison barrels nearby. Cloaking. I'm going to put this in... okay. Right, so I'm going to... I think I'm going to put it high A tier. So, like, the thing is about cloaking is I know it's, like, the sort of the meta take for light at the moment. Like, if you're playing in comp, then you will need to be playing cloak because it's, like, the most valuable realistically. Personally, I think that there's a lot of things that need balancing about light, and I've actually had this, I've had a conversation with ChatGPT about it recently, and basically out of the 3 that they have, so they've got the dash and they've got the grapple hook, I think that cloak is the one thing they should remove, and we actually do have a significantly, like, really good idea for it, for what could replace it as well, which I'll get to in one of my later videos. Dagger, I hate. I think it's like, the thing is it's one of these weapons where you need, like, such a ludicrously high skill ceiling to get those backstabs. It does, I think it does double backstab damage with the left trigger, like your secondary fire. But at the same time, like, you need to, you know, it's a lot of positioning, and you also need to make sure that your opponent's never looking at you to actually use it. Evasive dash, I'm going to put above cloaking. I know it's not the meta choice, but I personally think it is a better tool. Light, like, in its class description, is about evasiveness, moving fast, and, you know, basically, like, avoiding dying. And I think the evasive dash, out of their 3 skills, is the best of those 3. The grapple hook is good, but it can't be used in close quarters. I mean, it can, but the problem is you're going to be, you know, like, you got to look for somewhere to turn to, basically, in order to get that zip line off. And if you're not anywhere if you're not anywhere that it can be used, then you're gonna have trouble getting out of the fight with it. Whereas evasive dash, you get 3 charges of it, and usually if you go, like, 2 back and then left or right, usually you'll avoid the trouble, basically. And it's also good if they flash you. Like, if they use a flash grenade on you, then you can still dash. Like, and broadly speaking, there's a pretty decent chance you'll get away from whatever the fuck's trying to kill you. I think evasive dash pretty much embodies what the light should be capable of. Sorry, I just filled my drink up. Okay, so we got light flashbang, medium flashbang, heavy flashbang. On lights, we've actually both seen, more recently when we've been doing the random loadouts, we've seen Husky be unbelievably efficient with the flashbangs. Like, just being able to, like, drop one and run, and you just end up in a position where, like, generally if somebody's chasing you, they will not really be able to chase you for very long, because they'll be blinded, and that gives you plenty of time to dash in a direction that isn't, you know, a straight path, and get away from whoever's trying to kill you. Frag grenade on light. I'm going to put this in B. I think it's good, but I think that light has so many better gadgets than the frag grenade, realistically. Like, sure, it's always good to throw a frag in a room and do a bunch of damage as an opener, but at the same time, lights aren't really meant to do that. So, yeah, it's in my opinion that the frag on light is maybe not the best option. Like, it's okay, maybe I should put it here. You know what? I'm actually okay with it being an A tier. Like, it's good, but it's not like one you would 100% of the time take. Right, and I'm talking from somebody who plays light as almost a main class, and I use, because I never grew out of Gugas Pyro from, like, when I started. Like, it's hard for me to use other stuff, but also, actually, no, I'm going to put it back down here. Actually, I'm going to put it in C, because they nerfed it. You only get one frag now. You used to get two, kind of like some of the mines. You used to get two, you now only get one, so I'm taking away a little bit of points for that. If I'm right, this one is gas, because this is goo. Okay, gas, absolutely incredible. Now, I would be putting this higher, because obviously, you know, I've played a lot of it. If anybody's ever watched me playing this, they know I take this as a default. It's good for dumping on a cash. Like, you steal a cash out, you drop a gas grenade on it, and generally people will not fuck with it. The only reason it's going in low, actually, I'm going to put it in high B tier instead. Realistically, the only reason it's actually been moved down is because everybody brings pyro. People bring pyro because they know that people bring fart gas, and realistically speaking, like, if somebody is already going into a game with a actually, let me quickly do this. Needs fixing. There you go. Yeah. So if you're going to a game with an item that people are definitely going to encounter, that's not a good start, realistically. The ARN 220. I haven't really been. Actually, I'm going to put this in ridiculously high A tier. I think that's probably the best place. Like, the thing is like, okay, so they have nerfed the XP54 a lot. Right, it's only been like 1 damage here, 1 less bullet there. But the XP54 is like their default weapon. And I think that's the one you even start with. Like, when you start a new account, the XP54 used to be their default weapon. And as a result, like, them continually nerfing it sort of hurts the class a little bit. The ARN basically full-time replaces the ARN, the XP. I think it's better at range. It's better at, it's less good at short range, but it's good at mid to long. And it has, I think I saw that it has like one of the fastest reload times in the game or something like that. I think it's only beaten by the V9S and the M11, but it has a fast reload time. Alright, Gateway. Sadly, I know how good this is. I've seen people be extremely good with the Gateway. The problem with it is that I've only seen it in our randomizers when I've been playing that, and I think that the timer needs to be extended for how long the gateways stay open, especially if you don't put them down. I think that's although maybe I'm missing something. Maybe let me let's consult the wiki. Not cosmetics. What am I doing? Loadout, builds, light, gateway. Okay, well, I need to read. Right, okay. It creates 2 portals between which contestants and objects can teleport. Holding primary trigger will prepare a high velocity overhand. Okay. Throwing a second gateway will connect it first, when only contestant can interact. Yep. Right, the gateway can be deployed by throwing it a few seconds after being deployed. It creates a closed gateway. The same process is repeated for the second deployment, at which point the 2 gateways connect. Contestants, a gateway can be held unopened for as long as needed. Duration only begins. Okay, but what is the duration? I need to know this. That's the most important thing. 20 seconds. So, like, once you open both ends, you've only got 20 seconds. And I don't think that's... I think you should be able... I think there should be a longer amount of time. I think maybe the way I would fix this, or, like, make it better, I don't know, is I would make it so that then the duration, the countdown only starts when you enter it, or when somebody enters it, like, and then it's, like, 20 seconds until it closes it. I'd say that's probably the safest way. Like, a lot of things got buffed and nerfed, and I think that the gateway fucking duration starting when somebody actually enters it is a better use of it. Okay. Glitch grenade light. This one's tough because the thing is everything that you used to use a glitch grenade against has now been nerfed to the point where it's no longer relevant. Mostly these used to be, I mean, only really mostly. I'll probably put it in like a C. Like, here's the thing is, you used to use it against the mesh shield, the dome shield. You used to use it against turrets and the, I mean, not really, obviously, the APS. I don't actually know what effect it has on mines, but there's time to test that. But basically, the two things that it was meant to counter, which were the mesh shield and the dome shield, have been nerfed so badly that I don't even see when people bring them anymore. So basically, I think it's still good, but I just don't think it is as good as it once was because, you know, like, it doesn't do as much as it used to. Goo grenade. Yeah. I think it's A2. Genuinely, I think goo on every class is just generally... I mean, except heavy. It's generally speaking quite good. It can help with movement. Like, when the last time I played with Kish, he'd started using it as a way to, like, build basically towers along walls that you can use to get up to high places where you wouldn't normally be otherwise capable of getting. But also because, like, you can just block off a doorway, and even though they can throw fire or shoot it apart, the only thing that truly destroys it immediately is charge and slam. I don't know about the effects of a sledgehammer on it, but same sort of reasoning basically. I think it's good because the elevation it gives you, as well as your ability to just block off a doorway, is excellent. Yeah, goo is insane. I love goo. Like, literally, since I started playing, goo gas fire, goo gas pyro grenade were my 3 starting gadgets, I think. And I've never really moved off them because they're basic, but they're good. They're good at what they do. The grapple hook. That's tough. Trying to think. Where do I put this? I think I'm going to put it right before cloaking. Like, higher A tier than cloaking. Reason being, there's a lot of maps that require elevation. I won't talk about, like, snipers, because I'm not a big fan of that anyway. But, like, basically, the grapple allows you to get across the map very quickly. If you're moving in a straight line and you can, like, sort of ping an area where you're looking to get to very quickly, you can use that as a way to get there. Also, on maps with suspended structures is where it's, like, super valuable as well, because, like, it allows you to... Minigun shreds it too? What, you? Yeah, absolutely. But you still got to wind up. There's still, like, a few seconds of, like, you've still got to wind up and fire at the goo to get it to disappear. I think the destruction time is the same for pyro and minigun, but we can test that. But yeah, grapple hook is insane for elevated structures, suspended structures. On maps like Seoul, it's also insane. Like, just being able to get up to, like, or Monaco, where you got the cranes, you can get up there with a sniper and be, generally speaking, quite annoying. And usually you won't even be able to, like, in the last randomized loadout stream I did, where I was playing 1v1 with Husky, she got the grapple hook, I didn't. I got a medium with no movement tools. So, and stupidly I chose suspended structures as if that was a good idea. So she was just able to get up top places and break the zip lines, and then that was it, because, like, obviously, as a light with no movement, I wasn't able to get to where I needed to be to stop her, like, to, you know, take the cash out. On the other hand, I also had to repeat a gun that I'd never used before in my life, so I don't feel good about that, but it happens. This is... What are you? This is Gravity Vortex. I've never used this. Light class deployable gadget, which when remotely activated generates a localized singularity that pulls nearby players, objects, and debris towards its core. The Gravolt can be selected as one of 3 gadgets, blah 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 blah. Once the gadget is armed, the user can place... I'm going to admit, I don't know the first thing about this. I've never used it. I'm just going to put it here for now. Awkward. It's not an F tier. It probably isn't an F tier. I have no clue. I've never used it and I've never seen anyone use it. So it's just safe for me to go, sorry, I have no clue what that is. The LH1. Because I know, was it last season? This was like literally the best gun in the world for lights last season. Because it has kind of like, DMR damage. Has a decent amount of damage with a pretty high maximum range. But it's also tap fire, so like it can fire as fast as you, well, a little bit, but it fires really fast, which made it really deadly, especially when like if you're like taking on a heavy, that thing could shred a heavy, and that's pretty dangerous. I'm gonna put it. Wait, I'll put it top of B tier because I haven't tested how good it is. Also, now we got scopes, so I think they had to nerf it a little bit because of scopes specifically. Like before that, you only really had iron sights. But I think that once I've tested it, I reckon that would be a good contender for like maybe an A or S tier. I'm just putting it there now because I know the legacy is that it's a good gun. M11 S tier, probably the single most overpowered gun in the entire game right now. I'm trying to think of another one that is on its tier, but I don't think there is one. Like, genuinely, every time the XP54 has gotten a nerf, they've buffed the M11 just by the nerfing the XP54, because they basically fulfill a similar role. The XP used to be better at range, but now it's not. It used to have more... I think it still has more damage. But it doesn't really matter because while the M11 has less damage, it has a bigger clip size and it has a faster rate of fire, meaning that the M11 will melt somebody, whereas the XP54 cannot. And yours can also, like, the range on it is ridiculous for what it is. Like, hold on, let me find the page for the M11. M11. Yeah, they say max range is 17.5 meters, which should be nothing. But over the, like, literally, like, we've all been beamed across the map with one. And that's just ridiculous. The Matter, the M26 Matter is a shotgun. I don't like it. I think it's not very good for light. I mean, I've seen people use it, and there's probably a good use case scenario for it, but, like, it's extremely punishing if you miss your shots. Like, if you hit your shots, it's probably great. But if you're not hitting all your shots consistently, I think it can be one of the most, like, ridiculously hard weapons to use in the entire game. Just because of how punishing that is. That's pretty much all I got to say on that. Nullifier, F tier, needs fixing. Like, genuinely, it used to be the stun gun. And the stun gun used to stun the opponent, which would slow their movement, and they couldn't use gadgets after Season 1, because in Season 1 it didn't do that. In Season 2 it did. Right? Now the problem is, they removed the stun gun and replaced it with a nullifier. Right, and the nullifier is, it phases somebody out of existence for a few seconds. I think it's like 5 seconds. And basically what they meant, so you can't take damage and they can't take damage, and so neither player can do, like, that player cannot take or deal damage. But like the thing is a light has really fast movement. So if you're carrying something like the SH-1900, which seems to be like the build, or the sword or the dagger, like generally speaking, all you got to do is chase the person you nullified, wait until they come out of it, and kill them immediately. Like, it makes no difference. in my opinion, and like, I'm not a high level competitive player. I'm not even a competitive player. I play mostly casually with a bit of sweat. But realistically, I think that they need to remove the nullifier completely and fix it in a way that actually, you know, works. Because all they've done is they've taken it from being, like, probably the single most busted gadget in the game to being even more slightly overpowered. So, but it's one of those things that is, so I guess it's subjective to experience. But honestly, I think it's just stupidly overpowered. I think they need to. What I'll do is when I do the, I mean, obviously I'm going to use it over time so I can practice for it. So then when I do the second tier list, I'll have a better answer. But when I do that second tier list, between now and then, I'll figure out a way to make it balanced. Because right now it is not. Like, Light is not an initiator class. It is, it is not a defensive class. It is meant to be a class with hit and run capabilities. You know, like, the thing is it's the fastest class with the lowest health, but it also has the fastest time to kill. Which is stupid. Because the problem is all you need is the reason this and this are in S tier, is because you just need those two together and you're any good enough aim. I play on controller, so I'm a little bit behind the curve on that. Although I need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak my controller settings, so I want to see if I can make it faster to ADS. Because I think that's one of my weaknesses at the moment, is not ADSing quickly enough, whereas on mouse and keyboard I imagine it's a lot faster and easier. So yeah, I'll figure that out later though. Pyro, absolutely. I'm not gonna put it I'm not gonna put it above these two because this is like one of the most broken combinations in the entire game right now with the nullifier. But honestly, I think that if you're running Light, Pyro should be like. Let me see, what else have they got? Vanish Bomb is good, and I think that's. So that's Smoke, and that's a Sonar. I don't think Sonar's that good. I think Smoke and Thermal Vision are only good together. But yeah, like, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm good with this. I'm good with this. Right, so I'd say that Gateway, Pyro, Vanish Bomb is pretty much like one of the best comps you can, like, loadouts you can really realistically have for Light. Maybe Breach Charge depending on the map, maybe Glitch Grenade again depending on the map. Like, if you're on a map where like medium or heavy is going to be quite prominent, like a map like Monaco where medium is kind of like where the class you want to be playing, you probably want to bring a Glitch Grenade. Also, if you're on Soul, you probably want to bring frags, because then you can open up holes in the ground, just drop a frag in. Obviously, like, the thing is, if you open up a hole in the ground, somebody's gonna know you're about to drop a fucking frag in, so they're probably gonna leave. But yeah, I'd say Gateway, Pyro, Vanish Bomb is probably like the best, like, all-rounder, because also the Pyro deals with gas, which we mentioned earlier. Like, broadly speaking, I'd say it's probably like, because of the fact it deals with gas and the fact it deals with goo is like easily one of the best, like two of the best reasons you should bring it. Recurve Bow, putting it here as well. I've seen some right sacky shit with this, but I disagree that it's good. I think that if you're good with this weapon, then you're playing at a level that is just beyond mere mortals, and we should burn the witch immediately. Like, the thing is, it's not a good weapon by any stretch of the imagination. It has a very long, like, unlike weapons like that are guns, basically, it has a wind-up time. Actually, no, here's the thing. I'm going to put it here. I think it's very similar to Matter. I think that it's okay if you can hit your shots consistently. If you can't hit your shots consistently, or if you miss a lot of shots, then I think that it is a weaker weapon by default. The SH1900. I'm going to put this up here. This thing one-shots a Light. I believe it one-shots a medium. What's the damage? 13 times 15, so that's what, 165? If I'm right on that first time, I deserve fucking sub. 15 times 13. No, it's 195, I'm wrong. So yeah, it does 195 damage. Let me see. What is the health of medium? Medium now is 250, so it does 195 damage, so it two taps medium and heavy. Basically, which is disgusting. Actually, I'm going to put this in needs fixing, because they need to fix this weapon. Again, Light should not be an initiator, it should not be able to one-shot heavy. Like, basically a lot of my argument hinges on the fact that Somebody really needs to explain to Embark that the point of having a heavy class is so you can counter the light class. Like, that is pretty much the exclusive purpose of having a class system in your game like this, is that there should be the heavy counters the light, and the medium just does whatever it does. Right, it's not particularly strong or weak against either of them, but a light should never be able to go up on a heavy at point blank range and two-shot them. Basically, that's my opinion. You know what, I'm going to put a new row as well. This is going to be the gimmick tier. Because I'm going to have to put these two together. And I know, but they need to go together. Smoke and thermal vision. I think this is a gimmick. I don't think this is a combination you take if you want to win. I think it's one that you take if you're wanting to have fun. Like, thermal vision on its own is, I'd say, better than smoke, because obviously it gives you, you know, a little bit of extra vision technically, even though it is a bit wanky at times. But I think that these two together specifically is a bit of a weird, like, it's just one of those, like, weird flex things. Also, this probably could have been a specialization. I know that, it's weird because on medium and heavy, they both have night vision. And it's like, why is that a thing? Why does that exist? Okay, sonar, crap tier. I don't think a lot of this and the recon, what the fuck are they called? Motion sensors. I don't think a lot of them. Honestly, I think they're kind of stupid. Like, obviously they serve a purpose, because otherwise it wouldn't be in a game, but at the same time, realistically speaking, instead of that, you could be bringing something that does damage. And I don't know if this is like, just like, you know, early 1990s Pokemon player who only gives my Pokemon moves that do damage. But, like, realistically, what's the point of knowing, like, because you know where your enemy is. You know? You know where your enemy's going to be. They're going to be on you. They're going to be right outside the door. You ain't got really going to have time to throw a sonar. And also, it tells your opponent when they've been detected. So not only do you know where they are, they know that you know where they are. I just think it's a very, very questionable value in a game. And I'll probably remove it completely because it just doesn't really serve a purpose in any game mode I can think of right now. Like, I mean, there is... No, actually, that's not really even a valid thing. Like, the thing is I was thinking... Okay, so you could use it to set up in a position in a room where, like, say you got one wall that you don't want them to come through specifically. Like, say you're on a ground floor building, you got like one unbreakable wall behind you, the other two are side walls, so you're gonna have like maybe a turret or some mines near it or something, and you got the one wall that you generally can't defend. You're gonna want to put the recon sensor there, but it won't stop them from thermal boring or charging slamming through that wall. You know they're there, but there's nothing you can do about it unless you can shoot through walls. Which also comes up to this for the replacement specialization we came up with, which I may end up pitching to Embark. Sniper, I think, is crap. Generally speaking, if we're queuing either solo or duo, and I see a sniper queuing with us, you can assume that you're just playing duos, and you're never going to see that other player, basically, in my opinion. Like, usually they're not very good with it either. Like, they'll just fuck off over the other side of the map and pretend to be useful. They'll maybe take some pot shots, like, you know, intimidate people a bit away from cash outs, and, like, there was a game we played recently, me and Husky. I think we were losing quite badly. And what she did was she took the sniper and she just sat and, like, poked holes in the enemies a little bit. Didn't get a single kill with it, but she kept them off it long enough for us to basically win in time. But realistically speaking, I think that, and this is a hot take, I think that snipers and, like, basically this and the pike, I think they were a mistake for a game like the Finals, which is all about, you know, like, which is all about, like, fast movement and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, on top of that, I think somebody needs to genuinely explain to Embark what a sniper rifle is. Like, you gotta bear in mind, these are the guys who made Battlefield forever. So you think they might know. The problem is the bullets from this sniper are hit scan. And so that means that when you're coming up on somebody, you can just pop them for damage to... It says 118, but that's usually a lie. 236 damage, usually. Because the thing is, all they got to do is point it at your head and fire. Even at point blank range, it will 236 you. Which, if you're a light, is instant death. If you're a medium, all they have to do is melee you for 40 damage. If you're a heavy, they just dash around you and then just like leave you with, you know what, just over 100 health. Personally, I think actually I'm just gonna put it in F tier. Number 1, I hate it. Number 2, I think the snipers are bad for this game, and number 3, I think that they need to rework the fact that you should never be able to use a sniper at point blank range. That's not how snipers work. Sorry. Oh, right. Sword. I'm gonna put this. Where do I put this? I think this is like a really high skill ceiling weapon. I'm gonna put this like C. I think it's good, but you don't see a lot of people in like comp using it, like in either World Tour or ranked. I think that's because, generally speaking, you don't want to be at point blank range to somebody in the actual gameplay. You want to be stretching them across the entire arena. So yeah, sword being where it is probably about right. Actually, I'll probably put this here. I think I'd probably take a glitch grenade before I take a sword any day of the week. Thermal... Wait, is this a thermal bore or a tracking dart? One uses a thermal bore, the other one's a tracking dart. This one is a thermal bore. This is rough because, like, here's the thing: is these two, the breach charge, is it breach charge on the light? Breach charge and the thermal wall both basically serve the same function, more or less, in that their job is to get through a wall or like a building. The thing is I don't know if let me see. Does the thermal ball do fire damage? Fires a thermite projectile. Cannot be fired at contestants. The reloading animation is automatically started. The charge sets surrounding objects in fire. I knew that. Okay, I'm gonna put this below, slightly below the breach charge. I think that's probably the best place for it. So the breach charge just straight up does explosive damage. This will set goo on fire, and it will probably burst some barrels. But hold on, it does no real known damage to 25 damage. It does 25 damage compared to the 80 damage the breach charge does. So it's useful in certain situations of getting through walls, but so does the breach. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna put the... Okay, I've had an idea. I'm gonna put a thermal bore ahead of it, and it's because the breach charge is only useful if you're alive. So if you set breach charges and then run off thinking, oh yeah, if they come here, I'm gonna blow them up, and then you die, those breach charges are now useless. The thermal bore is, I think it's 2 shots before it freaks out. Yeah, 2 shots before it's empty. And that can get through a lot of stuff, basically. I think for the meme, I'm putting the thermal bore above the breach charge. Throwing knives. It pains me to put them here. The throwing knives are like one of my favourite fucking weapons in this whole game, just because they are good. So, the reason being is because for a while, I think it was Season 3, me and Kish used these exclusively. We didn't... Kish uses the V9S, the V9S pistol? V9S? Is that V95? V9S? Whatever. He uses this pistol generically and he's really, really good with it. But for a while, we both religiously used these. And the problem is that at some point they nerfed him, and then they nerfed him again, and they slightly buffed him, but it's never been as good as it was. And it feels so bad because I love these things. Like, I mean, I can still pull off some things. Like the other night when I was streaming, and we played I played a game with some randoms, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm swapping to the throwing knives," and we got, I think I got like 4 kills or something. I did pretty well with them, you know. But like they need something back. I think they need maybe their fire rate back or something because they need to be fast. Like you got to bear in mind they're in a game where they're up against weapons like actual guns, and they're not like a sword or a dagger basically. I honestly think they need to rework the throwing knives so they're as good as they used to be. Tracking dart gimmick. I like this. I like it a lot. How many do you get? You get 4 on it. Kind of useless, but it's fine. It also does 5 damage, and I love this because I watch, like, whenever I can, I watch the Finals dev streams, and like one of the things that I got from that is like him saying something along the lines of, "I could have shot you with a real bullet, but instead I shot you with a tracking dart." It's not like, it's not a real gun. At that point, you're just shooting with a tracking dart in order to flex on them, basically. And I think that's hilarious. Genuinely, I do love it, but it's a gimmick. It's not a real gun. It's not a real thing. You don't use it ever. V9S. Actually, let me just quickly check the damage numbers on this. 40 and 60. Okay. So that means 4 shots are light, which doesn't sound correct at all. Well, 60 head damage. So that's what, 2 in a melee. The thing I like about this, I'm actually going to put this in... Kish will crucify me if I put it too low. I'm trying to figure out where I like it though. I think I'll put it with cloaking. I'll put it just between these 2 specializations. I think that's probably the best place for it. Like, the thing about it is its hip fire accuracy is ridiculous. I used it for a couple of games after Kish sort of buggered off, and then I didn't have anyone to play finals with for a little while before I started up the LNCS. And, like, at first I was trying to aim down sights with it, which is obviously, as I mentioned, pretty bad for me because my ADS is quite slow. And then I just started hip firing it, and it's like in Helldivers there's a gun called the Talon, and it's like an energy revolver basically. And it, like, what I've sort of worked out is it sort of shoots directly into the middle of the screen, almost exclusively, with very little bullet spread. So realistically, you could tap fire this, and I think you probably hit most of your shots even without like zooming in, basically. Which also makes it a little bit overpowered, but it's still fine. Vanish Bomb. Actually, I'll put this before Pyro. Like, invisibility is a real thing, but having Vanish and Cloaking is pretty strong build. Actually, there's a build I'm going to be testing later on, which is this one. I was watching an old stream, and that's XP, Nullify now, Cloaking, Glitch. Oh, what? I think you must have swapped out the Vanish Bomb and Gateway. I'm going to be trying out that later. But yeah, basically these are your 3. This is your bread and butter. You're welcome to take anything else from any other tier, but this is the 3 you should probably be taking if you're playing light, in my opinion. Like, starting to get you elsewhere pretty quickly, starting to make you invisible without it being your specialization, starting to destroy goo and gas. Dead simple. XP 54. I'm going to put this right next to the ARN, even though I know it kind of doesn't belong to deserve to be there. With the scopes, I think they've made it a little bit... Oh, wow, really? I didn't catch that. Okay. With the scopes, I think they've brought it back up a little bit, but I think that the constant nerfing of this gun has done, like, real damage to its capability in the arena. Like, genuinely, I think it's... I love it still. Like, I will sometimes still take it over the M11 because of its range. But at the same time, it's not... It's not what it once was, basically. Right, so that's everything for light. Right, AKM. The default gun for medium. And it's an A tier. Like, people say the AKM is pretty hard to use. It's not hard to use. It has a little bit of recoil. It has recoil and it has a bullet spread, but it's also pretty easy to contain those two things. Like, you can just, you know, if you're even slightly good with any gun in any game, you can probably use the AKM. It also has good damage, both body and headshot damage, which is excellent for a gun. Oh, it actually doesn't. It has 20 and 30. Sorry. I'm having this issue again where I've talked for too long and now I'm climbing up. Fine now. So yeah, I'd say the AKM is easily... I mean, I might even put it S tier. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on medium that goes in S tier, and I'm not entirely sure. I think I would move it up to the S tier. Like, for it, considering it's the gun you start with as a medium, I think it's an excellent choice. Even like, it's one of those guns where it's like, you start with it when you have no skill, but once you get skill and you use it, it's like, it can easily be one of the best guns, probably. Like, just based on its like ability to do stuff. APS turret. So if I would bring it, depends on... What did I say about map choice? I think I said breach charge was a map choice weapon. Actually, I guess that puts glitch grenade up here as well. APS turret. I can't remember if it just destroys any throwable. Let me see. Let me see. Can be deployed by placing it down on any surface. It works immediately. Blah blah blah. Okay, so you can use. So it negates frags, the RPG, CL40. I'm guessing the MGL 32. Any, I don't know. Grenade, either grenade launcher. Okay, yeah, I'd say it's probably. Actually, no, let's put it B. I think we put it here. I think it's one of those. It's another one of those sort of things where it is very situational to the map you're on. Like, if you're going to be playing against a team with like MGLs, like either the grenade launcher or the Husky gun, then it's going to be good. If you like, generally a lot of people run frag. It's good for that. I don't know if it stops. Like, this is one of the things we're going to have to test. We need to test what it works against and what it doesn't. Like, does it work against a smoke grenade? Who knows? But we'll find that out. We will find that out. I'll make a note of it. The Cerberus. C. I'd say it's very middle of the road. Like, I've seen a lot of people using it. And I'm not going to deny that an incendiary shotgun is a really, really strong weapon, especially because of the burn damage after. Like, so even after you, like, get away from it, it's kind of, it's still technically doing damage to you. But at the same time, it only has three shots before you have to reload it, and if you have to reload that in the middle of combat, you're fucked. Because that's it, basically. If you go into a room and you haven't killed everything in that room, or everything isn't already dead, then you're gonna have a really, really horrible time of getting the fuck away from things that are trying to kill you. CL40, A tier. I think this goes here. The Husky gun. Husky will be happy with this. I'd say it's. I would say it's niche, but it's not. It's just a big gun, basically. It fires grenades that explode on impact. You know, the splash damage is pretty big for it. Like, it's a pretty wide radius of splash damage. It has, I think they upgraded it because it used to only have 4 shots, and like last time I used it, I noticed it has 5 now. So that's pretty good as well. But it's good for breaking through shit as well. Like, if you want to break through stairs in a building so you got less angles to worry about, it can do that. Or you can also get through walls. It's good at taking down turrets. It's good at taking out mines. It's good at just like scaring people a little bit, I think, because like it's kind of like the sniper. You hear the sniper crack off, and like you think, okay, there's a sniper on the map. We've got to be careful of like being out in the open. If you hear a CL-40 being fired, it's sort of the same sort of experience. Like suddenly you're aware there's somebody with a high explosive weapon on the map, and they could just come barreling through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man at any time. Data reshaper gimmick. I love this thing. I've played with it a total of 1 time, and it was during the randomizer stuff where, hold on, let me see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we were doing the randomizer, the item randomizer, loadout randomizer, and both Sun and Husky were mediums, and they were setting up their turrets. I kept turning them into chairs, like, enjoy your new life as a chair. It was good, honestly. Like, I think that it's actually, I'm gonna put it right at the top. Because I think out of all the gimmicks, it's the most fun. Like, you can go over to a barrel. Say it's one of the healing barrels, you can turn it into like an explosive one, do some damage with that. In the case of the turret, you can turn the turret into a chair, which is ultimately pointless. But at least it ain't a turret no more. Alright, Defib S tier. Genuinely, I think it's in my opinion that if you want to ever play medium, the first thing you need to do is learn how to use a defibrillator. And that is because in casual it's not as important because of the infinite respawns. And even then it can still be useful. Actually, hold on. There you go. Right, so here's why I'm putting it down here, is that they nerfed the defibrillator. It used to bring you straight back into the fight, and now it takes like an extra. Let me see, what's the timer on it? I think it's like a second. Let me see. Okay. It's 0.8 seconds. So basically, we'll just say 1 second it takes you to revive, basically. But the problem is that it never used to do that. And nowadays, though, it also spawns you back in with half your health and the inability to use gadgets or specializations immediately. I think that if they're going to nerf it in that fashion, then it should just bring you back immediately instead of the bullshit 1 second wait time where enemies just stand around you and wait for you. Like, they kill off your teammate who revived you and then they kill you as well. Like, realistically, I think it should turn a fight from, like, for example, say it's a 3v1, it should turn that into a 3v2 immediately. I think that them nerfing it in such a way, and this goes the same for the mesh shield later as well, by the way. Like, I think that the fact that they nerfed it should undo their previous nerf. Right, because shutting off all your specializations and gadgets, probably fine. But that 1 second delay where you're just literally standing there watching as your teammates get fucking obliterated, and you immediately die on respawn as well. It's like, Son, you've definitely been in my stream when I've been playing with Husky, and she's revived me right in the middle of an active fucking war zone. And I'll just sit there and go, why did you do that? You know, that's exactly what I mean with that. Is you should have, I reckon, right, and here's my idea, right? It brings you back immediately, but it brings you back in a nullified state, in the same way as the, actually no, this isn't a gimmick, it goes here. It brings you back in a nullified state. You can't deal damage and they can't deal damage to you. It gives you enough time to run away. I think that would be the perfect fix for the defibrillator. Like, yeah, sure, you can't use your gadgets, and you can't use your specializations for that. You can still not do those things for, like, whatever seconds it is after you're respawned. But they need to undo one of the nerfs or the other, because otherwise it is just something, like, I see less people bring it. Like, because of that 1 second cooldown. I don't even think Husky brings it on, like, half her medium classes anymore. But, like, every now and again, like, when we're either solo or duo queuing, and it's a medium, one of the first things I do is I check to see if they got defib. because it is like it should be one of the most important tools in the game, and they've nerfed it twice, and those two nerfs contradict each other's ability to continue. So yeah, I think it just needs fixing, and I'm gonna have to reference this later. Hold on, let me just quickly do this. Reference me. There you go. So I know where to come back to at some point, and 1 hour. So I'm just gonna have to put this in our chat. 1 hour 11:52. Right. So now I know when I was talking about specifically this thing, because that's going to be important later. Dematerializer. This thing is insane. I love this so much. I just wish I like. Here's the thing, right? I watch a lot of like Asian territory final streamers, like Japanese and Chinese people playing the finals, and they make this thing look like a fucking art form. Like genuinely, like attaching movement and like like going up through a thing and then like on a zip line and dematting through the wall and then jumping off at the last second to get in through the wall you just dematted. I can't remember where it was I saw it the other day, but somebody oh, it was on one of these like insane compilation things, and somebody there was a heavy up on it on a crane in Seoul, and what they did was they put down a bounce pad, jumped up with a bounce pad, and dematted the crane so the heavy fell to his death. I think it is a gimmick, but I think it is it's an actually useful gimmick. I'll probably put it here, actually. I think it is ridiculously good for what it is. Genuinely, I think it's such an insane, like, design choice. It's also, I don't know if I can actually, is it possible to show it? I don't think I can. What chat was it? Weapon analysis? No, that was for something else. Opinion request? Was that it? No. Where were we talking about it? Kill tone check? What the fuck is this? Okay, no. Garden Blitz, Discord ban, create awesome idea logistics. No, this would probably be to do with the, yep, that's to do with Zyvra. Oh, light class overhaul. Right, so we created a new specialization for light. Because I think that the cloaking is not in the class identity for light, realistically. So basically, since there's only like, I don't think there's really anybody who, like, it's kind of a secret project I'm working on, but it's something that I'll come back to later as well. But basically I'd say remove cloak, and light will get an ability that allows it to pass through a wall, basically. Like, it'll go into a nullified state, where it will, but it can't deal damage, and it can't be dealt damage, but they'll see that there's a light just popped into the fucking room, basically, and that's my secret third specialization for light. Dual blades. I think I'm gonna put them here. I was thinking about putting them in E because, like, so they've got this feature on them, the deflect, but it doesn't really do a hell of a lot. I'm not entirely sure. The first attack in the combo deals two slashes, dealing 50 damage each. Second attack also slashes twice, doing 60 damage each. The final one does 65 damage. Reflective projectiles deal the same damage as the original attack, but can't crit even on headshots. Deflecting bullets deals 100% damage to the enemy and 10% to you, or 30 if glancing. Blocking a melee attack reduces its damage to 25%. I think that realistically, dual blades are a cool idea, but they could have done more with them. I think I'm going to put the sword above them because, like, the sword has a very clear, defined role in the game. It's just a sword. Whereas the dual blades, they added on this deflecting, which is cool. I'm not against it. There's stuff being cool, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of like, I think they need to sort of fix it a little bit. But other than that, they're pretty good on their own. Repeater. Where do I put this? The problem is I'm probably going to put it low, but it's due to lack of actually using it. I think I'll just put it like high D tier. I'll put it above the dagger. Or low C tier. Because I know it's good. I've seen people play it good. It's just, I've used it a total of one time, and that was not a good experience, and that it probably has tainted my entire opinion of it. Like, but I do need to try it with a scope in an actual match or something. I need to know what it's actually capable of before I just give it a shit rating. Because I imagine there's a reason it is good, I just don't know what that reason is yet. This would be the medium's explosive mine. Honestly, I think, hold on, let me see. Gas and glitch. Okay, so I always take explosive mine, but is it really that good? It doesn't ever really do a lot. I feel like it's in I feel like it's in a similar category as breach charge. The problem is it's either like really good or it's a B tier. I think it's like, yeah, I'll probably put it like here. I'd say that's probably a good position for it, realistically. Like, I like the idea of setting down a mine and walking away, and then like somebody like runs into it later. I've seen a lot of people use like the bright coloured skins that you get for like leveling up with it, but I don't think they're like, I don't think that's, it sort of defeats the point of it being a mine if it's bright coloured. But yeah, like just being able to pop one down and wait. I think you can only ever have two on the map now. Let me see. Is there anything on it in here? The explosive mine can be combined with a gas mine, such as right behind an important door, to instantly eliminate a light. Yeah, sure, my ass. Yeah, I think they have. I think you're only allowed to have two on the map at any given time. Also, actually, I'm going to bring it to needs fixing. For the simple reason of, they used to be allowed to have two of them. Now you can only have one, which is kind of bullshit. I think they should be allowed to have two. Yeah, like, if you're playing a zoning class, like medium or heavy, like both medium and heavy both have the sort of role of area denial. Once you get to a certain, like, once you're holding a cash out, you don't want to be a light in that room, you want to be a medium or heavy in that room. Just because of your ability to protect that cash out from other people stealing it. I think that only being allowed to have one mine is kind of bad, because it means you either have to take gas or glitch as well, which are not brilliant either on their own. Thamus. I think I'll put this with a Husky gun. I think I'm going to put it here because it has more ammo. At least this isn't like the real world for mouse. I think it's the real world for mouse that has, it's a 3-round burst, but the clip isn't directly divisible by 3, or the magazine doesn't have like directly divisible by 3. It's excellent at range. Like once they gave us scopes, this became a much better weapon in my opinion. Like the iron sights were fine, but personally I don't think it. I think it's always an A tier weapon. Genuinely, I just think it's good. Well, I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay. Right, the F. Oh dear, my ears popped. Okay, that's a bit better. Right. The F car is kind of meant. I think that it's meant to be like the the premier, um, the premier sort of AR for medium, but I think it falls off in a lot of places. It's very similar to the AK. The damage is basically the same. It's got exactly 10% more damage on both body and headshot headshots as an AKM. It doesn't have as much RPM and it has a smaller mag size. I think this is a B. I think it's like here right next to the LH1. Genuinely, I think it would be better if it had either more damage or more damage or less recoil. I don't know. I don't really know. I just think more damage. The thing is the AKM is good, but it's like the default. Like, it shouldn't be the go-to AR. Like, the FAMAS has the 3-round burst. The FCAR is better at longer range, I imagine. Hold on, let me see. FCAR, AKM. AKM. Max range 37. Minimum range the same. Yeah, like, the difference in range is really not that much. I genuinely think that for the FCAR to work to be like the premier AR for medium, I think that it should have a better range because it is a beaming weapon. Like, if you miss your shots with it, it is extremely punishing. So I'm going to put this also in needs fixing. Flash grenade on medium? No, absolutely not. I think the flash works on light because it gives you that chance to escape. On any other class, I don't think it's as valuable unless you're just running a piss off your opponent build. Like, genuinely, I think flashbangs are pretty good. But, like, the thing is people either use them as light for getting away from combat, like to reset the fight, or they're using them on medium and heavy exclusively to grief. Like, they're not using them on those two classes for any other reason other than to just be, generally speaking, quite annoying. Frag on medium, I'll probably put slightly higher than frag on light, just because lights shouldn't really be using the frag. Like, there are better options for the light, generally speaking. And I'd say on medium, it's fine. Like, obviously, you can still throw it into a room, but medium has the sustain. Like, you can put down the turret, and then you throw a frag in distance, and if you hit somebody, then your turret's going to finish them off pretty quickly, basically, which is fine. Which is sort of why I think they should be good. This is gas, isn't it? Is this gas? Yeah, this is gas. I'm going to put this right next to the light. I think the gas is generally just as good on medium as on light. I don't think there's much difference. Gas mines. I think this is the one you can have two of, like the pyro mines. Yeah, you can have two. I think I'll probably put these in low A tier. Like, just being able to set off some gas wherever you want, basically, is pretty strong. And glitch mine, glitch trap. See, the thing is this is good in comp because obviously you need to be more proactive about fucking up your opponent's chances of winning. But in casual, I don't think it's a good tool. I think it's just, again, it's the same as flashbangs on medium. I think in casual it goes here. It's just for people who are trying to grief. Or in game modes where rank actually matters and stuff like that, I think it's a better thing. So I'd probably put it like low C, probably. Goo on medium, I'd say lower than goo on light. Like, medium don't really need, I mean, sure they probably do need the movement, but they've got a jump pad and the zip line. They don't really need the goo for movement. The blocking up of rooms, they can zone with their other abilities, like the mines and the turrets. So I think that realistically, goo isn't as good. It's still valuable, but like, again, if everybody's packing fire, then, you know, fire is where ye go. The Guardian turret, A tier, probably one of the best A tiers, actually, especially as far as specializations go. Realistically, it's the one you start with nowadays. I think you used to start with a heal beam. Let me just double check this, because I think it used to be the heal beam you started with. But they changed it. Maybe not. I could be wrong. But the turret is like it's just a stationary turret. It sits there and shoots at people. Now the problem, the main problem with the turret is it never runs out of ammo, and it doesn't. It will always auto target, which is kind of stupid. And gas doesn't stop it either. Like gas and smoke don't stop it targeting you. I think actually I'm gonna put this in. Needs to be fixed. It's excellent, but I think they need to fix its ability to see through smoke and gas. I think it needs to have a certain amount, like an ammo limit, perhaps. So just something to balance it, because like somebody can sit there and zone you off for an entire game if you're not like, if there isn't another way around to get to where you need to be. Heal beam. Again, this is another one of those things that's really, really good in comp and really, really like annoying in casual, because it's like, why would you need this in casual? You don't, because you've got infinite respawns. So I'm going to put it smack bang in the middle by putting it right at the bottom of B tier. Obviously I don't play competitively, so you know, for me, like the value in the heal beam is not as high, but at the same time I can see the value of it in like ranked or world tour, where you have a certain number of revives, so keeping your health high is valuable. Jump pad, A tier. I think both of the movement tools, realistically, for medium are A tiers, even if I don't, generally speaking, use them. And that's because they allow movement on a class that otherwise kind of doesn't have that, which is still valuable. Also, the jump pad can be used to just be annoying as fuck. The zip lining is fantastic for getting to places. Like they're both basically in the same sort of classification of things that are really good to give a class that normally wouldn't have that kind of mobility. The Model 1887. I put this in needs fixing. I think it's a good weapon. Like number of videos and clips and stuff I've seen before of people using the Model 1887 specifically. Like, and it's really, really strong. But they nerfed it really badly the last couple of patches. They hurt this gun. I don't know what the Model 1887 did to their cat, but they nerfed it. Proximity sensor, same reason as sonar grenade, honestly. Pike. The weapon was a mistake. I'm going to put it here, because, again, same reasons. You shouldn't be able to beam from across the map. The game is meant to be high energy instead of, like, camp and snipe. And also, yeah, I mean, it's just like these are sort of in a similar place as this, as grenade launchers, in that they could be described as oppressive, right? But I think the snipers like these really should not be up close and personal at all. Like, you shouldn't be able to just run up somebody and pop them with either of these two and they die. I think that's just bad. Pyro on medium. Again, I'm just going to put it with Pyro and light. Honestly, I think Pyro on every class is good. It gets rid of goo. It gets rid of it gets rid of gas. Like, the thing is like, I would probably move these down more and more if people started playing smoke, but nobody plays smoke. Like, usually the only smoke you'll ever see on a map is if somebody picks up a canister, and then, like, I think it was yesterday or the night before, where, like, somebody will throw a fire grenade into the smoke, and it'll be like, why'd you do that? Smoke immediately cancels out your pyro grenade, you're just being stupid. Revolver. Honestly, wow, that's a lot of damage, holy fuck. It just says high power revolver, which it for damn sure is. I'm gonna put this here. Like, I like it more than the V9S, but I also think that the restriction of only having a 6-round chamber is a bit weak. Also, if you miss your shots, it fucking sucks. Like, the V9S has a lot more leniency in its ability to hit shots, whereas the revolver, if you miss one of your 6 shots before you have to reload, then you're in trouble. Also, I really love the there's a set of animations that I bought, because I bought the battle pass the other day, which I don't know. It's of questionable value. But with the multi-bucks I got back off it, I bought all the Prairie Twirl revolver animations, which are really fucking nice to look at. So I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it above the V9S just for aesthetics. Riot Shield. This is also melee, but the Riot Shield is really, really strong. Like, there's not a lot of ways to actually deal with this. Like, when we did randomized loadouts, I know Sun had issues dealing with Husky, who had a Riot Shield. It's definitely like a team play weapon. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Like, if you can coordinate where you're going to be with this thing at all times, I think there's like an almost unlimited amount of value you can get from it. Kind of in the same way as a barricade on the heavy, which is coming up. But obviously you've also got the beating stick with it, so like, you know, that's pretty good. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I put this, so I want to say I'm gonna put it high beta. I think that the defense it gives you is really good. Like, because nothing else in the game really does that to turn you into like a moving fortress. Obviously, it's still vulnerable to certain things. Like, yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, the main way to deal with it is you just throw a pyro grenade at the shield, and the fire will stick to the shield. Well, unfortunately, something I learned recently is if the shield is on fire and they like bump into somebody, that person will then also be on fire temporarily. So that's a real thing. But yeah, generally speaking, you can lay a mine at their feet if you got those, or a grenade or something, and they'll just like, they'll keep moving forward, completely oblivious. I have issues dealing with Husky anyway, since she's so good at this. Yeah, she is. I think Husky is like probably our most competent teammate at the moment. Like, who actually plays with us. Like, I mean, I'm only good. Like, the thing is like, I'm only good some of the time. Like, sometimes I can be amazing, but the problem is it's not consistent in any way. Like that, it's like a short-term thing where like eventually like the good in me runs out and I'm just like back to being like crap again. Smoke on medium, absolutely no. I'm just gonna put it here. Like literally, it's one of those things that if you bring it on medium, you're literally not doing it for any serious reason. Actually, I'll just put in gimmick. Like, if you bring smoke on medium, you're just doing it to be annoying. You're not actually doing it to play the game at all. Which is most of the people these days, so whatever. Alright, on to heavy, finally. Only an hour and a half in, holy fuck. By the time I'm finished this tier list, it will already be time for my first, like, fucking break. Jesus. Not bad, because we're already, like, nearly 2 hours in. How great is that? Alright, so, Akimbo. Alright, I'm going to do exactly what I did with the revolver for these. Not that. There you go. Yeah. Right, so what's better than one pistol? Two pistols. Exactly. Right, but... and, like, so I put the revolver above the V9S because of the aesthetic of it. Like, there's the Prairie Twirl you get, which is an animation that spins the gun like gunslinging. Like Revolver Ocelot. However, the dual akimbo .50s also have Prairie Twirl. But they also have... Let me see if I can quickly find it. Actually, let me see. Haptic Reload .50 akimbo. I wonder if there's just a GIF for it. I think. Oh, look, there you go. Another generic akimbo reload. Is this it? No, that's not the one. Where is it? No, I need the haptic reload. Basic animation pack. Is this it? No, that's not it. I need the fucking. I need the GIF. In the finals. Let me see. Haptic reload the finals. I don't even know if it's going to be here. But basically there's a way to reload the 50 the akimbo revolvers The Akimbo Deagles, by like throwing them forward and they disappear. So sorry, I'm late installing the MCC campaign sort of thing. No, that's alright. I'm just chilling. We're doing a tier list to start with. We're already an hour and a half in, so only like 16 and a half hours to go. Actually, just 17 hours at this point, I think. So I've got to get 18 hours, 21. So, you know. But yeah, there's a reload for it, which is... It's so sad I can't show you that reload. Because they throw it forward, they disappear, and then they rematerialize fully reloaded. And it's fucking awesome. Alright, all gooch. Good. Anti-grav cube. This is really the only movement the heavy gets. But it's also really good, because I think that it goes up like 3 stories on most buildings, which is pretty good. It's slow as fuck, but you're a heavy, so you're meant to be slow as fuck. I think I'm going to put it like... I'm going to put it here. I think that's the right place for it. Like, heavy on the movement. Movement on heavy isn't really the most important thing in the world. But at the same time, it's nice. Sorry. I've been talking for nearly 2 hours, so I'm gunking up. I need to blow my nose again. Well, for which order we're doing finals or divers in will depend on how many people are available for one. What the fuck was that? Oh, CTS. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't think I have a hydrate redeem anymore because I just meshed them all. Like, so... Wow, I don't even have that redeem. Where is my thing? Yeah, I don't even have a hydrate redeem. What the fuck? Where'd it go? I had, because what I did was, like, there's, hydrate, stretch, and posture check, and I just meshed them all into one that was called care package, but I don't know where the fuck that's gone. Let me quickly bring that back. I'm doing this window since I've got the spare one open at the moment. Create a dashboard, viewer awards, power up and channel points, care package. Where have all my redeems gone? This is another one of those fucking things in it. Like, when I changed my Twitch username, I got logged out of fucking everything. So a lot of what's there now had to be reset up. Fuck. Okay, add new customer, care package, hydrate, stretch, and posture check. Cost 300. That's probably fair. Create, there you go. So if you refresh, it should come up now. So, but I will hydrate. Oh, I just lost my window. Shit. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking juice. Maybe this is bad. I'm gonna open a can of Pepsi. Well, I know juice is generally speaking good for me, but there you go. Pepsi Max. Just to keep my throat. Well, I don't know if it's something you've ever experienced, Dan, but when you talk for like 2 hours straight, like you start gunking up, and it's disgusting and horrible. Oh, I need this. Ow, my back. Ow, my back. I love that I can touch my roof. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so technically double hydrate, which is fine. Oh, there you go. Alright. Continuing the tier list. Barricade for the heavy clash. I don't think they've ever nerfed the barricade. Like, if they nerfed it, it becomes worse, but I don't think they ever have. And basically all it does is it puts down 2 barricades that stop your opponent from being annoying. I'm gonna put a high B. I don't think it's like the first thing you bring with you necessarily as a heavy, but I think it is very, very good. like zoning. Like you can just, you know, basically turn a doorway off. Like your opponent's going to come through the door, and you can just go, no, that door is blocked now. Heavy also gets C4, which is basically the same as a breach charge. Let me just double check this. So we got C4 and there's a breach charge. Let's take a look. So, oh, it does more damage. Okay. Priming time is also longer for some reason, and you can only have 2 of them. I think I'm going to move both the C4 and the breach charge to needs fixing, because the light version of it should not be better than the heavy version, generally speaking. Like heavy should be the class of destruction. Light should be the class of taking a few pot shots and then fucking off and dying in a corner somewhere. And that's coming from a light main. Charge and Slam, easily, in my opinion, the best specialization in the entire game. I just love the fact that you can Hulk out, scream, and run at your opponent. And, like, basically it just bounces them back a couple of times. Like, you can knock people off buildings with this. On the 2 maps that have, like, areas you can just fall off of, like, this is excellent. Obviously, it fucks you as well. But, like, because you can also uncontrollably run off the side of a building. But genuinely, I think this is an excellent ability. I wouldn't change it for the world. If anything, I might put more damage on it. What's the damage on it currently? 100 initial damage and then 40 subsequent. So for every time it hits them after the first one, it does 40 additional damage. So it should be able to, like, immediately kill a light, but it doesn't, because it can just dash out of the way. Even actually, no. If I was going to change this at all, I think I'd attach a very slight stun to the first. Sorry, to the first bump. Like when you first bump them. Oh, hold on. Yeah, like there's a little video here that shows that. Because that's the slam, so you go for a roof. But yeah, I think that if you hit somebody with the first part of the stunt, with that you should be able to, that it should give them a little stun where they can't respond for a second. Like, or not like a second, like point something of a second, basically. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to balance this out a little bit better. Because it's like a lot of things. A light should not be able to run up on a heavy and just kill it. Dome shield has been nerfed, needs fixing, 100%. Used to last longer, used to have more health. Now it does neither of those things, making it almost completely invalid. I haven't seen somebody bring a dome shield on purpose in a very long time. Explosive mines are going right next to the medium's explosive mines. In my opinion, you should be allowed to bring 2. They nerfed them so you can only bring 1, which is kind of stupid, because you need to be able to defend the cash out, which is why medium and heavy have them and light does not. And like being able to place mines is a valuable tool for that. Flamethrower. That's rough. I think that, so the flamethrower has a wind-up time as well as a very specific cone of damage that, like, is kind of hard. Like, I mean, I imagine, like, I've seen people who are good at the game be good with a flamethrower. And, like, you can clear a whole room with it if you're good enough at it. But at the same time, it's kind of one of those things, it's more hit and miss than anything. Like, if I was using a gun, I'd rather one that directly hits something and, you know, they're like this. You're definitely taking, you know, you definitely know you're hitting something. I think maybe the fire from it should be a little bit more pervasive, like it should stick to you for a little bit longer. Since unlike the pyro grenades, which you're normally just running through, like, so usually if you're getting hit by a pyro grenade, you're either a heavy, a shield user, or basically any of those three, any class, but you're just moving through it. So that so the fire damage you take from it should be relatively low. However, a flamethrower is directly firing burning promethium at you, or petroleum, sorry, not promethium. I'm thinking of flamers from Warhammer 40k. But I genuinely, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna put it in like here. most, actually no, we'll keep it high C. Mainly because it's one of the few weapons in the game where aiming down sights is worse. Like, you can hip fire this and it's just as good. Flashbang, again, same reason. You don't bring flashbang as a heavy. You bring flashbang as a light because it's an escape. You don't. If you bring flashbang as anything but a light, you're only using it to grief. And same with a frag. On here, it would be cool to bring a frag, but the problem is you only get the one. If it was two, like frag would be S tier on both medium and heavy. But because you only get one, it means you're using that one and then you're sitting and waiting for your second one. Which, like, usually you don't want to be doing all that much. This is gas, I think. This is gas? Gas? I'm going to put it again here. Like, I personally wouldn't bring it as a heavy. Like, heavy just has better gadgets. Let me zoom this out a little bit so I can still see all the things. They have better gadgets. Gas is still fine for minor zoning, but realistically, everybody brings fire, so it's slightly worse. And the same with goo. Goo is going in with the medium goo. Actually, I think I'll put it down here. I think heavy goo is kind of really like one of the worst things you can probably do. Because they got barricade, and barricade is better than goo, at least I fucking hope so. Goo gun. I'm gonna put this in gimmick. Like, it probably has an application that is really, really good. But, like, encasing yourself in goo is pretty much the easiest way to get yourself killed. Especially since everybody's running pyro. Like, if there's even one person with a pyro grenade and you get that goo gun out, you can guarantee that somebody's going to turn up with fire and blow you to bits with it. KS-23 is fine. I don't think it's an exceptional weapon. I think I'm going to put it here. Like, the range on it just seems really inconsistently dodgy. Like, it doesn't seem like it hits for as much damage as it probably should, considering. Max range 20 on the Cerberus. Max range is apparently 23, but I haven't seen it. Like, I've used the KS-23 a few times, and honestly, I don't see 23 meters range on that. I think that the bullet dispersion is so high that, like, you're not really hitting what you think you're hitting at 23 meters. Louis gun. Louis gun's been fucking horribly nerfed. Like, they just keep nerfing it for no fucking reason. It's still a pretty strong weapon with a decent amount of ammo and a pretty low recoil. But I don't think, but comparing to the M60, I think it's just, like, not brilliant. And even then, the M60 isn't excellent either because the minigun exists. Lockbolt launcher, I'm going to put this in gimmick. Again, it probably has a utility, but I don't know really what their utility is. I've seen some funny plays where you, like, lockbolt somebody to the wall and then you just go ham on them with a fucking hammer. There was also one I saw where, like, they lockbolted just before a jump pad, and then the entire team fell to their fucking death, which was brilliant. Just to save time, I'm going to put smoke in the smoke tier, which is just gimmick, basically, and the proximity sensor in the proximity sensor tier. Because they don't do damage. They just tell you where the enemy is, and by the time you know where the enemy is anyway, from listening to, like, arena queues and, like, people actually fighting it out, yeah, usually it doesn't matter where they are. The M60 is in, actually, I don't think I'll put it in A tier. I don't think it belongs there. I think I'll probably put it here. I think the LH one is just still better. I think that's probably the safest place to put it, realistically. It has less recoil, and I think it has more ammo per clip as well, so... mesh shield needs fixing. Again, this is the same situation as a defib, in that they nerfed it twice, and the two ways they nerfed it are antithetical to each other. The first way they nerfed it is by reducing the health it had, which is fine, because it probably was quite annoying to deal with. Even though nowadays it's basically a triple light meta, so... how much health the shield has doesn't fucking mean anything. But the other thing they did to it was so it used to be you could flick it, so you could put it up and down. But now if you put it down, there's like a 5-second cooldown on it before you can use it again, which is kind of stupid. Like, extremely stupid. Because usually, in the middle of... Let me see, we'll see... yeah, so here's how ridiculously nerfed this thing is. It has 750 total energy, down from originally... what was it originally? It used to be 1250. Okay, look, there's just patch notes for it here. Right, so the mesh shield used to have 1250, and then they nerfed it to 1100, then to 1000, then to 750. They increased the cooldown on it. They also increased the starting health, and then they... Right, so yeah, mesh shield will now enter cooldown either when destroyed or lowered. Right now, I think it should only ever enter a cooldown if it's fully depleted of health. I think it's stupid that they put a restriction on it where even if you lower it, it goes into a 5 fucking second cooldown. Oh, sorry, it's 4 seconds, but it's 8. It's 8. Fuck, man. It's 8 if the shield is damaged and 4 if it's undamaged. It's never going to be undamaged. That's the problem, is they fuck this thing so fucking badly that it used to be, like, this used to be the tool of choice. The only reason Charge and Slam, which is a inherently offensive tool, versus this, which is a defensive tool, is like S tier, whereas this is in fuck you tier, it's because they hate heavies. Genuinely. Like, this being able to... Like, the thing is the way this should work is that you should be able to put it down and put it up a lot, which is, like... Because it fits the heavy class identity of being able to protect your teammates at a moment's notice. Right, there isn't... Like, I literally never see anyone bring this because of how bad it is now. Right, MGL-32 there, heavy grenade launcher, E tier. Genuinely, I think this is probably one of the single worst weapons in the entire game. Like the revolver, it has 6 shots, but the grenades bounce before they explode. They don't really do a hell of a lot. Let me see, what's the damage on these? 83. You can never get a headshot with it, which is fine. It only does 83 damage, which is actually far less than the CL40. Yeah, like the CL40 does 100 damage. So yeah, it's literally worse than the gun it should be better than. But also the grenade bounce. Like, you can lob them into buildings. It's sort of in the same tier as snipers, and it's oppressive. Like, but at the same time, when its primary use is environmental destruction instead of actually being used as a weapon, I genuinely don't think it. I don't think that's value. I don't think that's a good value proposition for a weapon. Like, there's probably some use for it as a weapon, but I don't really rate it that highly. Pyro grenade, pyro mine goes next to gas. Actually, I'm gonna put this quite a lot higher. I think this goes here. Pyro mine is fucking fantastic. Like the gas mine, you can carry 2 of them at the same time, which is a big deal for any kind of mine. Again, looking at these. But it's fire instead of gas. Gas will usually be put out by fire. People need to be running smoke to put out pyro, and most people don't run smoke. Hold on, again, allow me to... yeah, Pyromine is just brilliant. The only thing that really puts them out is in Gimmick tier. Sorry, it's in the Smoke Grenade tier. I think that's just what I'm going to call it from now on. It's not even a Gimmick tier anymore, it's just a Smoke Grenade tier, because there is no class that using Smoke Grenades is actually good on, except maybe the light with the thermal vision. But even in that situation, you're not playing that combination to win, you're playing that combination to have fun. The RPG... Oh, the RPG. What a shame. Right, so the RPG also needs fixing. So it used to... Oh, actually, no, there was a time when it did... Oh, okay, wow, that's even worse. Yeah, so originally it did 165 damage, so it could one-shot a light. And then they reduced it to 150, which could still one-shot a light. And then they nerfed it to 140, which could still technically one-shot a light if they've taken even one little hit of damage. And they nerfed it to 100 damage. But also, they nerfed the reload time, they nerfed the zoom in, they reduced the ADS. You can't hip fire it anymore, which is like exactly what they should have done to the sniper. Like, it's just ridiculous. Decrease minimum damage applied at outer edge of explosions to 0. Amazing. What is the radius of damage? 1.5 meters to 5.5. So after 5.5 meters, it does no damage at all, which is fine. But like, they've nerfed this gun like 6 times. Now, here's the thing: is it only specifies player damage. Now, in my opinion, I think this should still be doing 150 damage. I think that if you fire an RPG and it directly hits a light, they should fucking die. Like, it's an RPG against a light. A light is meant to be fast and have low health, and now they can just go, "Oh, you shot me with an RPG directly in the face." Anyway, how's the weather? You know, like, it's insane to me that light gets as much. So it's not even that they get buffed; they get indirectly buffed by medium and heavy getting nerfed as heavily as they do. The only fix I would do to the RPG is just put it back to 150 damage. I don't care about the rest. Like, you can have a slow reload rate, you can have a slow cooldown. I don't care. Just make sure that if it hits a fucking light, they die. Right, the SA-1216. This used to be the premier shotgun for the heavy build. Like, in it, because it's really fucking. It used to be really good. Like, the bullet dispersion, it used to be crazy. So it does. You get 4 shots, and then it does like a slip reload, which isn't a full reload, but it has 4 loads of 4 shots basically. But again, they keep fucking nerfing it. Nerf the damage, they nerf the pellet count, they nerf the firing rate, they nerf the magazine rotation, they increase the recoil pattern. Basically, this gun needs to just go back to how it was. Like, sure, it's oppressive, but fucking hell, so is everything else. The Shack 50, I'm gonna have to put into this tier because I've never fucking used it. Which means there is literally only 2 things in this whole game I just haven't used, and that is the Shack and this floaty cube thing that I don't have a single fucking clue about. Apparently it's a rifle, like an AR for heavy, so I imagine it probably does a hell of a lot of damage. Let me look at the stats. Not really, it does less damage than the AK and the FCAR, and probably the FAMAS. It doesn't have a significant... It has a smaller fucking mag size. Its maximum range is garbage. Its firing rate isn't particularly brilliant either. Like, it takes fucking 5 shots to kill a light. This is why they need to rebalance classes, because a gun on a heavy should not be taking that much damage. Should not be taking that much time to kill a light at all. Especially not a fucking RPG. Did my LNCS fucking event just proc? Yeah, I know it's going on now. Thank you. Sheesh. Only 4 to go, and I'm going to take a break. Fuck me. Sledgehammer. Sadly... Let me just see what the damage numbers on the Sledgehammer actually are. 115 and then 200 for the alt fire, which is a slower heavy charge. Yeah, I think it just goes... I think it... The thing is I want to put it with the other melee weapons, but it's very... Actually, no, do I see it as a gimmick? I'm not entirely sure if I see it as a gimmick. I don't think it is, because its main purpose is arena destruction, I think. I don't think it's really used that much against actual contestants. I think it's mostly just used for arena destruction. Which is fine too. I can live with that. But like, you know. Oh, hold on. I've got yeah, no, okay, thanks. Yeah. Like, it's cool for arena destruction, but the problem is like, when you don't have a dedicated special second weapon in this game, like in a game like Helldivers, it can probably feel quite bad to be at that. You have to be at point blank range for somebody to do damage with it. Obviously, if you've got two really well coordinated teammates, then you could use the demolition as a benefit. Like you could run sledgehammer, charge and slam RPG. You know, just basically ways to destroy buildings and enforce lag, like weaponized lag, C4. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I can see it as like a destruction build gimmick, but not much more than that. Generally speaking, I think that that's probably the best way to explain how the sledgehammer is good. The spear is only realistically slightly better. I still wouldn't put it in the same class as either of these. It's got a faster spinning attack, and but otherwise it is again just a melee weapon. Spinning animation where the user swings their spear in an area of effect, but the area of effect is not told, so that doesn't help. I guess it's just within the range of the weapon. Winch Claw is honestly it's somewhere between a gimmick and a very viable specialization. Like, the ability to yoink a cash out off the side of a building or something is fucking hilarious to me. Like, I don't think there's any time I would use it against an actual contestant because, like, obviously, you got a winch claw and then you got a, you know, shoot whatever weapon you got because melee will only do another 40 damage and I think this only does 15. Now it does 5. Okay. How much did they nerf it? Yeah, it used to do 15 damage, now only does 5, which is stupid. They also decreased the maximum range from 17 to 12, and then they decreased the range again from 12 to 10. And then increased it from 10 to 12. What's the cooldown on it? Described here, impact. It's pretty good. Like, I'd say it's good, but the fucking issue is it doesn't do anything. Like, unless you're holding a very specific weapon that you can immediately fire as soon as something's right on you. Like, so we're talking not the minigun, not the flamethrower, not the MGL. What weapons does that leave? The KS-23 probably won't hit its target because the bullet dispersion is too wide. The SA-1216 is exactly why they probably nerfed the Winch Claw. Or vice versa, because it was literally the only good way of, like, guaranteeing a kill. Which a heavy should be able to do at least once. Maybe the melee weapons, but again, this is something I'll have to test to see what we can get with this. I think I'll put it for now in like B tier. Actually, I wonder if it goes to the riot shield. There's probably no information specifically on that. Hit scan, trigger on impact, damage, movement, immobilizing, not interceptable. No structure damage, no friendly fire. Actually, let's put it here. Let's put it in needs fixing. I think it should do structural damage. I think it should be able to latch onto the side of a building and pull a fucking wall out. It's a winch claw, it's on the heavy. Boom. It's part of the class identity. That's where it should be. Minigun! It's a gimmick. I'm joking. It's an S tier weapon. I fucking love the minigun. It genuinely is one of those guns that you look at and it fucks so hard. Like, at first I was, like, very skeptical of it. I'm willing to admit that much. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. I was highly skeptical of this weapon. But, like, the more I've used it, the more I've realized it is insanity. Like, it's unbound insanity, basically. Like, if you go into a room where there's, like... basically, if, like, lights are trying to dogpile you and you use the minigun, then, like, you're just gonna... I mean, they'll probably still kill you because Embark hates lights. but realistically, like, you will put a lot of damage in. Absolutely, yeah. You spin the gun to win. Like, genuinely, the minigun is probably my... Oh, no, let me see. What is my favourite weapon in the finals? No, it's got to be throwing knives. Throwing knives, I think, will always be my favourite weapon, and that's because of the playing card skin they've got, and also the new playing card skin they've got. I think second would be... I'm going to put these two together in a second, because of the Prairie Spin, which makes me into Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear. Who I've never played Metal Gear, I just know the Revolver Ocelot meme. Third place, Minigun. Like, there are games where I've ended up on like more than 10 kills exclusively because of the minigun. Like, it has, I think it's got a 200. Actually, why am I not just looking at a fucking wiki? It has a 250 fucking round, like, magazine. It can melt through basically anything. Like, even though each individual bullet only does 11 damage, like, there is nothing in the whole game that can stand up to its, like, ridiculous level of damage. That maximum range of 50 meters, completely irrelevant. You can annihilate entire buildings with this. Honestly, this thing is an unbelievable fuck. Like, it just fucks everything. And I hope they never nerf it. Let me see. Let's see patch notes. Just introduce. Oh, they have patch. They have note. Decreased bullet dispersion while ADSing. Decreased bullet dispersion when moving and ADSing. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Genuinely, it's just a fucking hilariously, like, it's a hilarious gun. And I can see them probably nerfing it because Embark hates heavies and mediums. Right, so what I'm going to do now, let's take a little screenshot here.